Hello, all you imps, pixies, and other fine fae folk. It's me, the Hobby Hobbit. We are here with another video. This is a channel where we like to play with artsy, crafty things, but we're master of none. Today I thought, let's color. I really want to color, so it helps relieve my stress, anxieties, that kind of thing. And it's been a stressful couple of weeks. Let me make sure where I can get you guys to. I can get you to here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Nope, that's in. I want you guys to be able to see more of what I'm doing. Okay, in here I have a multitude of different pencils. In this case, it's like a 480 case pencil holder. My all-time favorite pencils are my Castle Art. So I'm flipping to those because those are my favorites. I have two sets in here plus the, these are not them. Okay, so this is where my Castle Arts start, right around here, I think. Yeah, this is where they start. I generally will always go from, always go like white, yellow, oranges, orange pinks, pinks, reds, red pinks, pinks, purples, purples, purple blue, blues, so on and so forth. And I've got some missing. Why do I have some missing? Because those are the colors that I was using for my other project that I'm not done with. Right, so I'll just have to remember to grab them from there if I want to. So this is what I'm thinking. I need to find a space for this. Hang on. Truly not prepared today because I wasn't prepared to color. I just felt the need. Let me... Where do I put everything? I'm not really set up for coloring on this desk. Okay, we're just going to shove this over here. I'm going to move this down so that I've got a little bit more room. Right, there we go. That's going to have to work. Those are my Castle Arts. Okay, so I've done this page over the course of several weeks to mimic this. So let's find another page that we want to work on. I'm just trying to find one that I want to do. I used to have this thing about where I wanted to work front to back on my books, but honestly, I don't foresee myself ever finishing a full book as little as I'm able to work through these. Oh, and this is the Thomas Kinkade Disney Dreams collection, in case you were wondering. We could do a Snow White. I like the Winnie the Pooh one too. I could do Alice in Wonderland, so when I finally get around to my Alice in Wonderland, but that would be mixing the different kinds of Alices. I don't think I've ever noticed that in the movie, that you see the white hair. I don't know, I want to find one that I want to do. Something that speaks to me. Problem is I'm going to end up trying to sing all the songs along with it. This one looks good. Oh, that's going to be a challenge with that dress. I've already done a Mickey. The Mad Hatter's Tea Party. How do we feel about that one? Truthfully, I've not even looked through all of these because I like to be surprised. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one we're going to do. Yep. Right. So I'm going to start on this path here. I can see that there's a cream in there. And then we'll move into some yellows and
browns. So I'm just going to start working on it just very lightly. And I like the Castle Arts because they lay down a lot of pigment. And they blend like Prismacolors do, but they don't break like Prismacolors. They're hard like a Crayola pencil. So that's why I like them so well. You have a little bit more give and take with your coloring. I know a lot of people don't care for them, but I really do. These are my favorites to work with. It doesn't look like I'm laying anything down because I'm doing a very, very light layer because I know I'm going to be building up a lot of colors on this page, and this page is not a great, it doesn't have a lot of tooth to take color. In fact, I can already see it's shiny where I've laid down just this little tiny little bit of layer. So I'm just going through and getting down my base layer. And what I'm doing is I'm doing long circles. I'm not going up and down like this. I'm doing them in circles. For those of you that can't tell, I am doing a circular motion. I find that blends better than straight up and down. Okay, we are getting somewhere. It doesn't look like it, I'm sure. So I'm whipping through this really fast so that we can start showing the pickup of the color for you guys. Because this is going to be boring. Oh, look, she's coloring with a color that we can't see. Oh, no, we can't see it. Yeah, I get it. But I want this little bit of color down here because I'm going to be going back and forth between this cream. It looks like a grayish, some greens, a grayish kind of color, and a light brown color. I'm just concentrating on this portion of it. I'm not going to worry about the crack or the edges yet. So now let's get, I want like a moss, kind of like a green. So let's try this color so we can start getting some of this shade in. And again, I'm just doing it really, really light in different segments, trying to mimic what I'm seeing. It doesn't have to be exact, clearly. Oh. And I am not an artist. I am not an expert at this. This is just strictly for fun. Throw a little bit here. Throw a little color down here. Just adding light little touches of this color. Where I feel like it needs it. And again, I'm just doing these circular motions, but they're smaller strokes now. Little tiny strokes. Little bitty circles. And I'm just using the lightest pressure because I know, again, I've got to blend this. At this point, I know there's not that much of this color on here. I'm just trying to fill in so I've got something to blend against. Right, now let's go ahead and, these are the pastels. Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. Now let's go ahead and go for, let's try this browny kind of yellowy color. I think this is a little too brown, a little too bright. So I'm not going to put too much of it in here. Just a little bit to, this is actually a better color for him, I think. We can't put it along here because that looks light. This is a straight line. I'm just doing back and forth really lightly over the same area. So this one I am not doing the circles. Let's just throw a little bit back here too while we're at it, very lightly. Back to my circular motions. And we can throw a little bit along here. Right, that's all I'm going to do for that color. Now we need to get let's try a warm gray. Again, just for a little bit here and there. I haven't quite figured out exactly what colors these are, so I'm just kind of throwing a mix in and then we'll go back and blend. Circular motions. I'm just trying to throw a little bit of interest into this. And then I'm just adding in the shading here. Okay. We're going to come down here. I'm just doing a little bit because this is much darker. And I will gradually grow that darker color. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way, but I am a righty. Just very, very lightly doing this. Okay, now I'm going to move this over here a bit so I can get at this. Okay. Okay. So that looks good for the little bit of shading that I want. I want to have a little bit more in here because it's much darker through here. So I'm just going to do another little light layer. Okay, let's go ahead and put a little bit of the gray behind here because I can see that there's just a tiniest touch. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm actually grabbing some of the color that I've laid down and trying to blend it in to make this a little bit more of a match. Just really light. Okay, now let's add a little darkness in here. Just a little bit. I'm not blending too awful much because that can always come later. I'm just trying to add a little bit of interest, like I said earlier. I don't know what this is. Is that supposed to be part of the shadow, I guess? The problem with this is you know, Thomas Kinkade is known for his oil paintings. And Disney is known for their drawings. And so we've got these really harsh lines and lines that don't seem to make any sense. Like this, is that supposed to be part of the shade? this crack shouldn't be this deep. It should, you know, I know they've done their best to mimic it, and I'm grateful for that little bit of help, but I feel like this needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, now let's try and grab a warmer brown to throw on the ground as well, because there are hints of brown you can see through here. I'm just very, very lightly going to start blending this in with the gray, trying to come up with this color. And these are long circular strokes that I'm doing into little strokes, little circles. Yeah, I'm happy with the way this is coming out now. It's looking more like the ground. My poor mom, she's coughing across the hall. I'm going to stop in a minute and see if she needs some cough syrup. Okay, I'm going to grab this. And now Mr. Marvel has found something to bark at. Okay, now I feel like I've gone over that a bit, and I want to take that off of this. This eraser I got off of Amazon. It comes with like 300 little erasers, so I bought two, because one for the where I make bigger mistakes and one for where they're little. You can see how teeny tiny those are. Okay, I'm going to start throwing. Put a little, ooh, that brown went on sharp there. Right, I'm trying to blend this in. And unfortunately, this has gotten a little edgy. In that, I mean, you can see where this has been, it's not blending like I want it to. But I'm going to keep working at it. And I'm just kind of creating these pockets and things that I see in here, because they're not all drawn. Okay, now I feel like we need more of a... Actually, we might need a little pink. As weird as that sounds, I can see a little bit of blush in here. So I'm going to grab some pink. But I'm going to very, very lightly just brush this on. And again, in the circular motions. Just little bitty circles. Okay, we're getting some of that blush color that I see. Come on down. And just building up a little bit of this color here. I'm just barely touching the pencil to the paper, by the way. Okay. You can see, like, because of this, how long this is going to take. This is going to be a matter of, that's why the other one took so long, because I'm trying to match it the best that I can with what I've got. Let's throw a little pink in here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with my original cream to try and blend some of this out. And I'm doing a little bit more pressure on this now. See, I'm not happy with the way this is, but I'm going to work at it. But as we said, this is a channel where we are not a master of anything. We like to play. The purpose of play is to have some fun. Okay. Now I'm getting a little bit happier with the way this is turning around, at least in this section. This I'm not so much, but I'll work on it. I'll keep working. That's my laundry. Okay, I gotta keep working at this. I'm not happy with this at all. But that's the whole part of this, right? You just work until you get it, till you're happy with it. I suppose I should tell you what colors I've been using in case any of you, in case you did want to follow along. Hold on a minute and I'll show you. Oh, crap. I don't like that. Okay, let's get the big one out because that's definitely not one to... That was just too sharp of a color. Okay, so the brown is 069. This cream color is 073. The pink is 033. The gray is 118. The yellow brown is 077. And then the yellow green is 076, again from the Castle Art series. Now I'm going to bring in some more gray. But you can see how it's just building up these layers, slowly building them up. Trying to make this a richer colored piece by blending all of these colors together and just letting what happens happen. This is not turning out how I wanted it to at all. Why is that not cutting? There it goes. This is the sharpener that I'm using, this Tagal. I like it because you can put how sharp you want your lead to be, how pointy. I usually like mine about a 1 or a 1.5 because I feel like I get more control over it. And I'm back in with this cream color again. Yeah, I'm just really not pleased with this, the way this is turning out. But it's all about the journey, not the destination, right? This is supposed to be relaxing for me, not stressful. And I'm starting to get stressed over it, so that's about time for me to say, okay, it's time to call it a day. Plus, my arm is really starting to hurt me now. I tell you, ever since I've had carpal tunnel, I just cannot color like I used to. Not that it's affecting my ability, more about the being able to hold the pencil and color for that long. I'm not saying I used to be a grand artist prior to. See, it feels like it's in chunks. That's, I think, where I'm having a problem with it. It doesn't flow from color group to color group, so maybe I need to throw in a little bit more brown over it all instead of the cream. But if I do, I want it to be a warm brown, and I'm probably using the wrong pencils for this book. They probably need to be Prismacolors. All right, let's try and find... Let's try this one and see if this works. Oh, I've gotten silent, haven't I? Because I was concentrating on this. Sorry, I just realized that I was not speaking to you guys, and that makes for a boring video, doesn't it? I'm trying to throw in a bit of color that blends them all together. So that's where I'm concentrating on this, trying to get it all so it's all blended really nicely in there. No harsh lines. And again, I'm doing the circular motions. You may not be able to see it, but I'm going like this around, doing kind of like a cursive E. But I'm varying how long I make the circles and how short, just to kind of get a blend in there. Yeah, I'm liking this better. Okay, I'm gonna I'm just going back and forth over the same areas, trying to get a good blend in. And I feel like this is actually starting to come together a little bit better now. Which it takes time when you're trying to concentrate on different areas and trying to throw a lot of different colors in to make it look more realistic and have more depth to it. It does take time to develop those layers. I've just gone right into that clock again. Don't worry. We'll get rid of him. Mr. Cogsworth, right? Was that his name? I've only seen Beauty and the Beast a couple times. I'm doing my best not to break out in song right now. Let's get these all blended in and then start working towards this patch here. And then once I'm done trying or satisfied with this blend, then I'm gonna call this video quits. My brother is making chili and I can't wait. His chili's so good. I'm just going over and over that area. Just trying to bring some of the cohesiveness across. Across or cross? Throughout? I'm sure I'm blocking this and you guys can't see it very well. I apologize. You may or may not have noticed that I hold my pencil further back. It's so that it reminds me to use lighter pressure. I'm a pretty heavy-handed colorist, and if I don't hold my pencil back further, I'm going to press down quite hard. So this is a visual and a physical reminder not to color very heavy so that I can get these layers built up. Yeah, I'm much happier with the way this is looking now. Okay, we're just going to come along here and just start blending it all in and trying to get that color to match up some. Okay, yeah, I'm much happier with it. We're going to throw in this cream again to do a final blend up. At least on this section here, but I don't know if you can see how shiny this paper is getting. It's not going to take much more color on it. Yeah. I am going a little faster, but not much harder. And I'm going back and forth because I'm just trying to get some of this evened out some. Yeah, this is blending in really nice. You may not be able to tell it, but because I'm so close to it, I can see the blending. Yeah, I like it. And that's the whole point of it, is just not to give up. If you think you've made a mistake or you don't like the way it starts out, just keep at it. I really like the way this makes some shadow and stuff in there. I may want to add a little bit more later on around here, but for now, I'm pretty pleased with it. Okay, until next time, see you then. Bye-bye.